at the annual Jewish National Fund USA Global Conference for Israel. From keynote speakers to one of the nation's largest Shabbat dinners, it is all kicking off today in Hollywood, Florida. And that's exactly where our I-24 News senior U.S. correspondent Mike Wagenheim is. Mike, the conference starts today. I know you just arrived, but you've already been speaking to some of the main people at the event. What have you been hearing so far as the main messaging this year that even compares to years past?
Yeah, we're in the opening hours here of this four-day event, expected to draw some 2,500 participants from around the world. We're here in the expo hall, which hasn't even opened yet. You see everybody's still getting ready here behind us, all the different exhibits to open up here in a few hours' time. But indeed, everything from the large plenaries to the smaller breakout sessions, so much to talk about in terms of the future of the connection with Israel, especially here in the United States through this annual conference. We spoke earlier with Russell Robinson. He's the CFO of Jewish National Fund USA. He told us, listen, you can break up the last couple of years into certain milestones. October 7th, obviously, the ceasefire with Hezbollah, which allowed people to move back up north to some extent. He said JNF USA has been working throughout the war. They've never really stopped. And that message will be carried forward here at this conference, that essentially the work never ceases. Here's Russell Robinson speaking with us just about an hour ago.
We were there yesterday, we were there today. So in October 7th, we helped evacuate the people because we knew the people. They were our family from the north and the south. Now, we're bringing people back home. But not just bringing people back home. You have to understand it. People just have a very short memory. In November, December, January, after October 7th, people said nobody's ever going to move back to the Israel envelope. Well, guess what? Over 95% of the people are moving back to communities, have devastation, and will be moving back. But beyond that, the Jewish National Fund has over 200 new housing sites in the Israel envelope that are sold out by young people who are moving to the Israel envelope. And in the north, in Kiryat Shimona, 30 families moved there 2 weeks ago. 30 new families, which included teachers. They've never had a movement of teachers like that. Young people who are starting because they understand the vision of Zionism, the need for our populations to be in the north and south. It's been part of our entire message and our very focused strategic planning for years, the north and south of Israel, and it's coming and being reimagined, rebuilt by Jewish National Fund.
It's not an easy time right now to be pro-Israel. It's not an easy time to have Israel attached to what you're doing just because of all the protests, of all the pressure. What is that feeling like to be able to gather this many people under the banner of a global conference for Israel in such a trying time?
So I think that the trying time is exaggerated. First off, if people hate me, that means that we're doing something darn good. And we're doing something good as Zionists. We've been doing something good for 3,500 years of winning seasons. And to be part of the Israel message and be part of the Zionist message, it's not so hard. That's how come we have a sold-out conference. That's why we brought 8,000 volunteers to Israel over the past 2 years. 8,000. That's why our high school in Israel, our Must High School in Israel, our attendance is going back to pre-war numbers. Teenagers that are coming from Phoenix, Arizona, and Seattle, Washington, Oregon, New York City, coming to Israel for a semester abroad, to Israel, to what you would say a war zone, they're saying to a place in which they can renew their soul and their spirit and be part of the Zionist future.
Now, JNF focused largely on the periphery of Israel, the north, the south. There's a session here tonight on focusing on film and movie development to drive economic development in Israel's south. We're here in South Florida. It's a huge Jewish community here. You think about New York, New Jersey, Los Angeles, all of them self-sustaining to a large extent. But there's a focus here this weekend as well on the smaller Jewish communities, like, for instance, Williamsport, Pennsylvania, where we spoke with someone earlier today. That's where he's from. And he said the protests, the anti-Israel protests, have even carried on into the smaller communities in the United States, and they're trying to find ways to sustain and support themselves. Here's one of our guests from earlier today.
The majority of the populations in a lot of these smaller communities are Christians, and a lot of them are Christian Zionists, but they're also very educated, so they know when a billboard goes up. There was one in my town that said, Palestine is the birthplace of Jesus Christ. So obviously the targeted audience was the Christian community. The Christian community has their own text and their own Bible, and they know that in that text it says Jesus Christ was born in Judea. And so we put up a response billboard and we reminded the community of that. But it's very interesting because we don't don't know who's putting these billboards up. They're Friends of Palestine, a very vague organizational name, and the question becomes, where is this money coming from? Who in the community is liaison with these organizations that are trying to put these out?
But in the end, it doesn't matter. You're from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. You're from Washington State. They're coming from all over the U.S. and all over the world here. The JNF USA Global Conference for Israel kicking off today. It'll last through Sunday. Philanthropists, journalists, activists, all taking to the big and sometimes a little stage here to talk about their on-the-ground experiences and their connections with Israel at this annual event.
We're looking forward to learning more about it all through you. Mike Wagenheim live in Hollywood, Florida. Thank you for bringing us the latest.